All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans for Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm the author of Sign and Thrive, How to Make Six Figures as a Mobile Notary and Loan Signing Agent, and founder of the Notary Business Builder Advanced Mastermind Group. I'm excited to have you here, especially today because we are doing a TNT remix. And in just a moment, I'm going to introduce my special co-host that's going to help facilitate and make this happen. But this is going to be different, a different flow than the normal TNT conversation. In fact, what we're going to do this time, actually, let me bring up Janae first. Janae, welcome. I'm excited about this. Introduce yourself, and then I'll tell everybody what we're doing today.
Hey, everybody. My name is Janae Blatch. I am the owner of JD Notary Solutions here in South Florida, as well as the director of Florida Academy of Notaries, where we offer state-specific training for Florida notaries and an awesome community. So I'm so excited to be here with you, Bill, for this TNT remix.
Remix. Yeah, me too. And this was a great idea, Janae. I really appreciate it. Because what we're going to do today is really going to highlight the amazing community that we have. So essentially what we're going to do is Janae's going to take over the majority of the call and ask questions, not of just Laura and I, but of you. You have amazing experience, tons of stories, perspective that you can share and make a difference in the lives of notaries across the country. So what Janae is going to do is ask a series of questions, or ask one question at a time. And we're going to use the raise hand feature on Zoom to add your perspective or answer the question. I encourage you to be succinct in your answers because we are only going to have time for probably 2 or 3 notaries to answer per question, depending on the amount of time or the depth of the question. And then we'll move on to the next question. And we'll work through until the very end of today's session. In between, we're going to sprinkle in some cool events that we have coming up. Of course, there's some really cool stuff coming up. And then also, just for being here today and for hanging out with us to the very end, we've got some great prizes for you. One in particular that we're going to open up to the public at the end of today's session, and then we'll sprinkle in some other prizes and giveaways throughout the process. So thanks for hanging out with us. And please, thank you for everybody who's turned their camera on. The next level of participation is to use that raise hand feature and share your own greatness, share your perspective and your experience on this notary journey. Janae, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yes, we want to hear from you all today. So get the raise hand function on your Zoom, on your computer, your tablet, or your phone ready. All right. So you're going to raise your hand if you want to answer the question. So we're going to start off with something really light, very easy. Only share what you want to share. But we know that we have such a vast amount of experience right here on this call. I'm looking at some names, I'm looking at some faces, and I know I can't wait to hear from you all of your experiences. So let's start with something very light. We know that as mobile notaries, we've experienced so much, so many weird things. So I want the first few people who want to answer to tell me the weirdest place you have ever had to sign at a loan signing or anything. So I see Gia's hand, but Gia, did you have your hand up for a question or to answer this question?
Because I have my hand up for a question, but I can't figure out how to take it back down.
Okay, you just click it again. There you go.
Okay, got it.
All right. So we got Jen Cooper up first. And if you want to answer this question, raise your hand now so that we'll be prepared for you next. Jen, share with us, what is the weirdest place you have ever signed?
I have done a document signing inside the room where they embalm those who have passed.
Wow.
With somebody on the table.
Oh, that takes it to a whole other level.
Yeah, this guy, the I don't know what their names are, but he had a desk to the corner, but I had to walk through and past. It was very unique. I don't think I'll do it again. I'll ask to be in the office on the other side of the place, but that was the weirdest place I've ever done a notarization.
Do we just
you
give away
literally
the
saw
prize
dead
now,
people.
Janae? Because that's pretty weird. But that's actually, interestingly enough, that's a perfect segue. Thank you, Jen, for sharing that, because Janae, I'm sorry, I just want to jump in. I can't pass
No,
this
good.
opportunity up, because tomorrow on the Legacy and Libations call with John Braddock, it's a totally free show at 4 p.m. every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday. You can register for it at notarycoach.com/legacy. I'll put that link in the window in the chat, but we are having an actual funeral director, embalmer, and mortician all together in one on as a special guest of that show tomorrow. So perfect timing, Jen. I should have coordinated that.
I know, right?
All right. Thank you. Sorry, Janae.
No, that's perfect. Okay, so Jen, we got Daniel up, but I mean, I don't know if you can beat being around dead people. What do you got, Daniel? What was the weirdest place you have ever signed?
I can't even come close to that. I was going to say in the waiting room of a kennel, and a very busy kennel on a Friday evening, and it was pretty nasty. But I mean, I thought it was pretty nasty, but with a friend on the slab, I don't think I can compare to that. So, but it was not great.
So a kennel, like where they were like animals, right? Like
Yes,
dogs and all that. So we got
coming in
dead
and out.
people and dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it was not pretty. The lady needed to have some stuff signed. She was really busy. She was on her way out of town. She was dropping her dog at the kennel, and so she figured that would be the most convenient place where she had to actually park her car for a minute. So yeah, it was not good, but we did what we needed to do. But everybody, as far as I can tell, everybody in every canine was at least alive in this case.
Step in the right direction.
That's a step in the right direction. Absolutely. So like you said, we got two quite different experiences. We sign with dead people, we sign with dogs, which is a perfect segue into the next question. We go into people's homes and people have all types of different situations and pets. So Daniel, that was a perfect segue into our pet situation. What is the weirdest, maybe most unusual pet story that you have as a signing agent? And I know Laura has and Bill has as well, but what would you say is the weirdest pet story you have? I have iPhone. Can you come on camera and introduce yourself, iPhone? Oh, iPhone's gone. Gia.
Yes, the weirdest thing that I ever had with a pet is this pet kept licking my big toe. I had open toe shoes on, and it kept licking my big toe, and I didn't want to kick the pet, so I couldn't get the pet to stop. So I just started laughing because it tickled, and then the owner was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Your pet keeps licking my big toe." So I don't wear open toe shoes anymore to people's homes.
There you go. Word to the wise. Thanks for that. For all the new notaries, wear closed toe shoes unless you want some pets licking your feet. You want a free pedicure or something, hey, that's one way to go. Thanks for sharing that, Gia.
Note to self.
iPhone. Are you ready to share? Can you come off the mic? There you are. Welcome.
Yes. Hi. I was going to answer the last question. I potentially had a signing where someone wanted me to sign in front of the vestibule of their home, and looking up, it was cold that day, and looking up, I saw a bird's nest, and then she wanted to set up in front of her door, and looking up, I saw the bird's nest, and then I looked down, I saw a bird crap, and I was like, I don't think this is an ideal place to sign. So she decided to move in a different location, pretty much. But that would have been a disaster if I would have set up the signing at that location. in front of the vestibule of the house and looking up and hearing the birds and seeing the bird crap on the floor. That wouldn't be ideal and not so much good luck in that situation.
Good
Yeah, not good
catch.
for your documents.
Yes.
You don't want to turn your documents into title with bird droppings, to say the least. So that was a good call. Nice call of taking charge of that signing.
Yes.
love
Thank you.
Yeah, good catch. Janae, I noticed that Laura's in the house. Can we introduce
Yes, Laura's here. Welcome, Laura.
Laura B?
And I can't get onto the meeting from the link on my laptop, so I'm temporarily, there it is. It doesn't let me in. Like it says you guys are waiting to let me in. Do you see me coming in a second time?
Yeah.
Well, now I get in. Okay, great. So I'd rather be on the laptop. I do have a great pet story here. It says
Ooh.
it's connecting, but here we go. Okay. So now I'll introduce myself and then I have a good pet story as well.
All right.
Oh, it's so long. I don't know what's going on today with this. You know, sometimes I think our laptops are tired and they just don't want to cooperate. They're like, I'm on vacation. Well, in the meantime, my name is Laura Biewer and I am the founder of Coach Me, Laura. And my mission is to create confident and competent notaries. So glad to be with you guys today. My story, and I've had several pet stories. I've had pet pigs that were like 200 pounders. I've had,
Recording in progress.
there we go. Let me turn this one off.
All right. We'll wait for her to come back on the computer here.
Pigs. That's a new one for me.
All right,
Bill,
so
ever
yeah,
had any pigs?
yeah, two big, huge pigs that were like the size of Rottweilers. And this is in the city. This is not out in the country, guys. And they were their indoor pets. But that's not my story for today. My story for today is not a weird story. It's actually an incredible story and really a heartwarming story. And that is that many of you know I lost my Chihuahua recently, and it was pretty devastating. And this last week, I went to a skilled facility to notarize for an elderly lady. And when I got there, she was all distraught, and her little dog was laying on her bed, which I've never seen a skilled facility allow a dog, you know, the pet, to be right there. And there's another person not involved standing there. And I thought, what did I walk into? And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I need to notarize this document, but I'm so upset. They just told me I can't go home. I'm going to go to a long-term facility and they won't take my dog. I don't have kids. I don't have a spouse. I have no one in the world but this dog. And I'm having to release her to a rescue agency because I have no one to give the dog to. And I just don't know what's going to happen with Mia. And so by the time I was done notarizing and commiserating and saying, I understand. And then I was crying because I had just lost my dog. She said, oh my gosh, it's a miracle. It must be you who's supposed to take Mia. And so I went to a job at a facility to notarize a document and I came home with Mia. And so Mia is now joined our household, and Lucy, my other Chihuahua, accepted her pretty fast. And so now they're best buddies. So she's doing better. And I call her Mama Mia. And so I don't know about you, but going into a place like a facility and coming out with a dog, my husband said, are you sure you're just a notary? I don't know about this. So that just happened. And Mia is now part of our wonderful family. She is a 10-pound Chihuahua. She's blonde and she's a bobtail. So she has no tail. She was born that way.
Cute.
And so when
Mama
she runs
Mia.
around, the back end kind of hops around. I don't know what is going on with that, but she is the sweetest thing ever. And thanks for having the opportunity to let me share that.
Oh, that's such a sweet story, Laura. I mean, I can think of lots of things I've loved signings with, but never an animal.
Yeah, banana bread. I mean, I've had lots of gifts, but this one was the gift that we'll keep on giving.
Oh, that's so precious and such great timing, right?
Yeah, I really wasn't ready for another dog, but my other dog was ready. She was alone all day while I worked, and she really needed a friend. And so not only did I rescue this dog, but that dog rescued us.
Oh,
It was great.
I love that. And when that first happened, Laura, there's no denying synchronicity. When the universe is ready to deliver, it's ready to deliver. And it was just like, here's your new dog. It's hard to argue with that. I just love that.
Hard to argue with that. Yeah. So when the universe speaks, listen. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
all right. We have Danielle Hill, and Laura, that was a great segue to our next question. But Danielle, you have a pet story to share?
I do, but I don't know if I can go after that one. That was amazing, Laura. So my story is I went in to do a signing, and they had two German Shepherds. They were really big German Shepherds, a male and a female together. And I sat down and took off my jacket because it was sweltering hot in there. Took off my jacket, and both of them, I had one on each side of me. They were about, up to here with their heads. And we were doing the signing. I was petting them, and, it was everything was okay. And by the time I got up and I put my jacket on, the slobber had just gone down into both sleeves. And I just didn't, I had to pull it off, be professional and try to act like nothing happened.
Oh,
I guess do what? Oh, it was terrible. So the signers never knew.
No, they were like, "Oh, sorry, they may have drooled a little bit." I'm like, "Yeah, a little, but it's okay."
They knew what their dog did. They knew. They just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, one on each side.
Oh my goodness.
I think slobber
my
stories
goodness.
could probably be a whole category in its own, Janae.
Slobber stories. Yes, absolutely.
Babies,
Absolutely.
pets, everything.
So many pet stories, but even if you're not able to share on camera, thank you, Danielle, for sharing that with us. Guys, share in the chat. We want to hear this. We want to see, and we're reading some of your chats are hilarious. So please share in the chat with us your stories as well. So we know that lots of crazy things happen at closings, but let's talk a little about getting to the closing, right? Preparation, when you're preparing to work and to go out, what is something that you do? This is like your mainstay thing that you have to do every day to prepare yourself for work in your morning routine. What is your favorite must-have in your morning routine to get ready for whatever the day has to offer you, whether it's dogs, dead people, or slobber in your jacket? How do you prepare for the day? What is that one key thing that you must do? All right, we got Daniel back. He's hot today. All right, guys, just remember the raise hand function is open. We want to hear from you guys. If you can't come on there, go in the chat. All right, so Jen's back. Daniel, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay,
really,
go ahead. What's that one thing you got to do?
It's a real easy one. I just make sure the first trip I make to the car for the day, I take my bag. Even if I don't have any signings that scheduled that day, I don't know if phone's gonna ring when I'm out. I'm out and about a lot with my son. So I make sure the bag's in the car and I'm somewhat dressed for work, so that if I get that call, I'm good to go. It's just kind of a habit I got to get into at the beginning of the day. So
get that notary bag ready. That's important. Can't make money without that stamp, right? Awesome. Jen, what's your must do every day?
My must do every day before I start work is my miracle morning. It's not supplies, it's not notary focused, it's anybody focused, but for me focused to be on my game, to be ready to be a notary. My bag is also packed. All that stuff is also ready, but my miracle morning routine is vital to my productivity and my success.
And your miracle morning routine, I know that consists of several steps, right?
6.
What would you say the biggest step for you?
I don't think there is one, because I think that the combination of all 6 of them is what makes it powerful. My meditation is important. My scribing is important. My reading Right now, as busy as I am, it's the only time I get to read a book is important. My exercise is important. All of that all together is important. So I don't know if I could pick one that makes
Got
or
it.
breaks my day.
So your routine is your must-have, that
Mhm.
miracle morning routine.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know, Bill, I know you have a lot that you've already, shared with us about this. And Laura, either of you want to share your must-do activity for the morning?
Yeah, I'll jump in and share. And I love hearing all these miracle morning affirmations as well too, because that was life-changing, still is life-changing for me. And I'm with Jen. I couldn't choose just one because it is the culmination of everything together that's so powerful. But I will say, because one thing that I have added in the last several years to my morning day is a preview of my day. So I literally, I'll take my electronic calendar and I handwrite what my appointments are for the day. And I set my daily big three, the three biggest or most important tasks that move my dream or my goal forward. And that has been life-changing.
Awesome. And I'll add to that. I've taken that advice, Bill. I got my little tabletop whiteboard right here.
All
And I used
right.
to use it in my closings. I used to use it in closings for the date and everything. I said, you know what, let me pull it out and it's going to be on my desk. What do I need to get done today to help me stay focused? So that's an awesome suggestion there. Larry, do you have one that you'd like to share before we go to the next question?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Larry, you're in
looks
the matrix. We can't hear you.
sounds like you have two screens or something open.
Yes. All right, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Well, there are actually two things, and I have to do them in order. The first thing in the morning is I'm a Buddhist, so I must get up, do our morning ritual, and I must chant for at least an hour. And then I go directly from in front of my Gohanzen into the shower. I cannot leave the house. My day has not started until I step out of the shower.
That's great. That's important. I think all of us that are your signers appreciate that as well. We all would, right? For all of us. I think that's a good one. We need to make sure that's on our list. That and our bag. So we got our miracle morning, we got our routines, and all these things to prepare us. Now, how do we prepare our business, our minds? How do we get our minds ready and prepared to do business, to grow our business more? So I would say, what would you say? And I know Miracle Morning is a book that has already been mentioned, but what would you say what book that you have read has transformed and truly impacted your business? If there was a book, what would that book be for you? You can put it in the chat if you like. Anyone want to share their book? For me, hands down, I've got tons of books here. For me, my book is the Holy Bible. Like that's what I read in the morning. That's my scripture that gives me my peace, that gives me my direction for the day. So that's the top of my list. And it's definitely transforming. And then all of the other books that help me in my business. There's so many to choose from. I don't know how to choose just one. Bill, you got a whole bunch right behind you. I don't know if you can choose just one either.
Here's the
what
thing.
is your book?
Here's the thing. Janae, I'm gonna reverse it right back to you and force you to choose. If there was a business or personal development book that you've read that changed everything for you, or even just one thing that just changed everything for you, what would it be?
One thing that changed everything? Wow, you guys flipped it on me. Talk about a remix, Bill.
See, Jen, see what I do? Yeah.
Yes, I think one thing that has changed it for me is understanding my purpose and staying in my lane for my business, not comparing myself to everyone else's business. I think when you look at everyone else and you say, oh, I want to be like this, I want to be like this, I want to be like this. And I realize the season that I'm in and my business is for me. What is for me it's for me. So it takes me out of the mindset of competition. My mindset is focused on what I have to do, my business plan, and the people that I am to impact. And that's different for each and every one of us. So focusing on that and streamlining and becoming laser focused on that, and appreciating the relationships around me, and being able to be of value to that, but focusing, knowing that I have a place, I have my own purpose, and I have my own business plan that I have to run, and I don't have to compare myself. So it helps build my relationships, and I get to see people a whole lot better. It's not envy, it's not jealousy, it's collaboration at its fullest.
And that I love that. So was there a particular book that guided you there, or just reading in general?
I think it's in general. I'm a mom of young little ones, so I haven't read many books recently. I get to scan. I have Sign and Thrive was a book that I read getting started in my business, as far as loan signing. I have some other books here with me, but there's so many that on my journey. The Strengths Quest, that's a big one, understanding my strengths in my business and how those strengths bring value. So Strengths Quest is it has an assessment with it that has helped me understand myself more, so that I can then, be my full authentic self and offer value to others.
I love that. That's huge. All right, I'll turn it back over to you because we got 3 people with their hands up.
All right. Okay, let's go. Phil Shannon, nice to see you again.
Jennifer,
that
are you
book
mad at
for
me?
you,
Jennifer
Phil?
got skipped. No, is that okay, Jennifer? Okay, good.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Janae. Thanks so much. I saw Jennifer's name hand up, so I didn't want to interrupt Jennifer. She gets going. But guys, it's just great to see everybody again. Thank you so very much. I was in a signing earlier, so I couldn't jump on. Looking forward to seeing people in Michigan. I know you had a great time in Texas. As most of you are aware, I'm a huge reader of books. My library is, gosh, it's huge. I started with The Magic of Thinking Big, which was one of my favorite. Think and Grow Rich. Go for the No. There's so many great books that are out there, and there's so many great series and sets that are out there that you now can. When I started, you had to listen to a cassette tape. Anyone know what a cassette tape is? Raise your hand if you know what a cassette tape is. There's a few more than I would think. But now, obviously, everything is read to you typically by the author. So that's really, really cool. But as most of you are aware today, 5 minutes after TNT, we will do a quick presentation regarding the services we provide, how we can help you. Yeah, Who Moves Your Cheese is one of my favorites as well. There's so many great ones out there, but we will do a presentation, how you can protect and grow your business, how you can take advantage of an amazing promotion that's going on right now and just for a short while. So please, if you can, join me 5 minutes after the end of TNT. Bill's probably punching in the information. I'll put my phone number in there as well, so you can text me if you'd like me to send you the direct link. But again, today, great seeing you. Look forward to seeing many of you in Michigan and all across the notary world, including Daniel Brewer's fantastic Notary Masters. Although I've had a couple issues getting into it the last couple of times, Daniel, I need to talk to you a little bit about that. But always great to see everybody. Thanks so much, Bill, Janae, Laura, and Jennifer, and everybody else. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil. I think we have one more there. Eagle Eye Signings.
Yeah,
welcome.
Judy.
Hello, everybody. I'm keeping my my little picture on there for a reason. My hair is a mess, and I just rolled out of bed, so I work from home. And the book that really inspired me, among so many, the Think and Grow Rich for Women, is called Wicked Success is in Every Woman, and it's by Vicki Malazzo, and she's here in Houston. So I did a signing for her and got to know her, did a couple. Then she just handed me a book, and luckily it was on Audibles. And she talks a lot about harnessing the 10 feminine forces with the 5 promises. So, I mean, it's just really good, and it teaches you basically how to, if you have one subject you're working on, don't do like 10 others until you finish that one. And just either you accept it or reject it. because there's so many things going on. You have to really get past the one, promise that you've made to do something every day. And there's the Miracle Morning Bill mentioned. There's just so many good books, good authors out there. And I think you take a little bit from each one that kind of helps you in reaching your goals. But I'm just so thankful to be here. Thankful for Bill. Hey, Laura, Janae, nice to meet you. I seen Judy in here.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Judy. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. But I'll put the book, I'll take a picture of it so y'all can see it, hopefully, and I'll put it in the chat. But it's really good. It's for women, but it can help men too. Both women and men, the same thing. It's the same principles, promises, and, just keeping the promise to yourself. You might tell somebody you're going to do something, and then, you may not get it all done, but the most important thing is to keep the promise, at least to yourself, be accountable to yourself. And then that way you can help someone else.
So powerful. Great lesson.
Awesome. I like how you ended that there, because you're helping as you guys are answering these questions, you're helping so many other notaries that are here today and that are on the replay with your experiences and things that you've learned along the way. Jen Cooper, did you have another book? Before we move on?
But I didn't want to monopolize. One of the best books I've read recently is Tiago Forte's Building a Second Brain. And this book is about how to organize all of the content we consume. Read, watch, all of the emails that come in. I've written blog posts lately about being at email zero where I live now because of this book, because of systems that he taught us how to set up so that you can go through your email once and touch everything once. That you can, when your email's full of subscriptions and all of that stuff and things you want to read, instead of letting it clutter up your email box, you send it to a reading app to read it later. When you highlight it there, those highlights go to your main second brain. And it's a very, very cool concept. And I would highly suggest everybody who's in business to read it, but anybody who's consuming content to read it. It's fantastic.
That's pretty much
that
all of
sounds
us.
good.
I love that. Yeah.
I've never heard of that, Bill. Have you heard of that book?
Just from when Jen was talking about it.
Oh, yeah. I guess two brains are better than one. I'm down.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me. Awesome. So on that same tone of building business, Laura, even if you want to maybe answer this one a little bit, I can kind of hear your voice in this question. What is the one marketing strategy that you have tried? Because as Jen said, there's so much content we consume, right? So many conferences, so many books we've read. But what is the marketing strategy that you've actually implemented and tried that has worked, that has actually, shown fruit in your business? And share that with us.
I've used a lot of marketing strategies. One of them was bail bond companies. And I actually did a mail campaign to the 30 plus bail bond companies that were in my city. It was a postcard indicating, why would I need a mobile notary? I have one. And I indicated, what they would use one for. And out of that, about 3 of them put my card on a cork board. And whenever they needed a mobile notary, they would call me. And the reason I know they did that is because they've called me and I've come in and seen my own card there. And I sent that out. Oh my God, that was probably 10 years ago when I did that one. So it was a very small project. I just wanted to see if there was response rate or not to it. And it worked fantastic. And I continue to this day to get calls for the local bail bond companies in my city. So that was just one. And then the other one is, I think the one that was probably the best is my hospital, which is that I offered an in-service. I started with hospice and then I offered it to hospitals. And I would give an in-service to staff about the 5 steps to notarization so that their signer is prepared before I get there. And they loved the idea of having some kind of training for them. And I started this long before COVID. Now it would be online. And it was just a 10-minute piece
that I provided, but it allowed me to stand out from other notaries and become a go-to notary in my city. And I have 4 hospitals that I did that at.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that training aspect. I think if I tag on to yours, that was one of the things that transformed my business and allowed me to get into business with realtors. I began to do realtor training and helping. I marketed to the brokerage firm itself and said, hey, listen, I can, they need spots to fill, training spots, right? That they're offering to their realtors. And so I said, listen, I can fill one of those spots and train some of your realtors on the table. I created a PowerPoint and I use it over and over again. They call me in every quarter to speak to their new realtors. And guess what? At the end of it, they're asking me, hey, can you be my notary? I don't market myself. I'm teaching them on what they should look for in a notary, how they can have a notary on their team. And at the end of it, they're saying, how can you be my notary? Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. And that has opened doors for me, and it continues. You plant those seeds and you'll see the plants and the fruit grow later on. So I love that training aspect. All right, Phil, you got a good marketing strategy. I think we know your marketing strategy, Phil.
Well, right along those lines, but Laura's actually gone with me to a few of these. I talk to a lot of associations of realtors, and I just basically generically talk about what our services provide, what we can do, how we can help, but they come to me asking the right questions. So sometimes you need to see how you can be of value to so many other people. When you can be of value to other people, they look for you, they search you out, and that's so important in anything that you do. Also, I'm assuming I'm late to the party, so we may have already spoken about the #1 best-selling, highest volume self-help book there is in regard to business. I'm sure we talked about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
No one's mentioned that one yet.
Yeah.
Wow, that surprises me.
Yeah.
I had the good fortune to share the stage with Robert Kiyosaki, Jack Canfield, Grant Cardone, a handful of other really amazing people. And Robert Kiyosaki is kind of the most down-to-earth. Yeah, I see Michelle's mentioned it in the chat. One of the most down-to-earth people I've ever talked to or had a conversation with. He just really cares about people, and it really resonates. And you see that when you speak to him and when he speaks to people. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then 4 Quadrants and so many other great books that he's put together, that just, it triumphs what you guys do. It trumpets you guys being entrepreneurs, you guys reaching out and doing something that is difficult and not easy. So congratulations, you've made the first big step to be different than everybody else. And being different isn't easy. It can be very uncomfortable sometimes. So congratulations.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Phil. Listen, I just want to remind you again to put in the chat your marketing strategies. I'm looking at the names here. There are a lot of new notaries here that they're on the other end taking notes. They want to hear from you. And even if you're just beginning, there's something that you have that you can look back and help assist someone that's a few steps behind you. So feel free to please do share your strategies that you've used in your business in the chat. All right, we got Cynthia. Daniel, can I get Cynthia on? Is that okay? Yeah, and then I'll get you on there. Cynthia, what's your top marketing strategy?
Hello, Janae.
How
My
are
top
ya?
one that really works for me, I get a lot of calls. I wear my brand on me all the time. So like on the front, I may have, well, like today I have on a shirt that says, notarizing your documents the sensational way. But then on the back, it'll have, need a notary, call Cynthia, and it'll have my phone number. And I've been trying to get enough to wear like maybe one every day for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I do that quite frequently. And I get a lot of people that come up and say, hey, I need a notary. And they say, are you Cynthia? Yes. And they'll take a picture of my shirt. So I've gotten a lot of people that have called me and said, hey, I seen you at the gas station, or hey, I seen you at Walmart or whatever. So that seems to work for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. Wearing your brand. So you become the human business card. I even thought about having the QR codes on there so people can stamp the picture, but you want to be careful with placement, guys. If you're putting your phone number or QR codes and people start taking pictures, don't put it on the back pocket of your pants. Don't put it anywhere that you don't want people gazing and to get that information. Just a word to the wise.
Good point. Good point.
All right, Daniel, what's your top marketing strategy?
Well, I gotta go here in a minute, so I'll go ahead and get this in. Business cards, everybody knows I'm a big business card lover, and I drop them everywhere. Every time I go to a facility, I take a big stack. I always drop 3 or 4 at the front desk when I check in, because people are asking for our services there. Every nurse's station I go to, I drop a few more. They know me by name now, and whenever they say, look, we got to get this power of attorney done, where can we find a notary? The nurses have a card. They give them a card, and right now I'm getting the biggest compliment, which is not, hey, you signed for me before, but I got your card from a friend who you signed with, and you gave him an extra business card. I'm getting that a lot now, so I just drop those cards wherever I can. It seems to be really paying off, particularly for general notary work.
Awesome.
Awesome here. We have time, Bill, for a few more marketing strategies. This seems like to be the hot question today.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Dashika, welcome, Dashika. What is your top marketing strategy?
I wanted to piggyback off of the QR code. You said don't, oh goodness. You said don't put it on your back pocket. Positioning is actually important. Mine is a window decal on the back of my window. So I had my my printer create like a window decal, and it's on the back of my car. So when my car is parked, and it just simply says book a notary.
Nice.
And I get
like that.
And the other marketing is I have a pull-up sign. So if I'm at church or if I'm anywhere and I know I'll be there more than an hour or so, I just I pull it up and I sit it right next to my car, and they'll come inside and say, there's a notary on site. And that's what it says, notary on site. And people will come in and say, there's a notary here. It's like, yeah, over here.
Nice.
I like that.
I like that.
Make the whole community your office.
Exactly.
I love it. Take your signage with you.
Yeah. I'd love to see a picture of what that sign looks like too, Dashika.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Great
We got another one with Shelly. Before we move to a different question, Shelly, share with us your top marketing strategy. Hi.
All right. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Okay. So I actually learned this from a realtor. I have pens. They just say my name and mobile notary and my phone number. And every time I did it today, I was in Lansing. I took my daughter out to lunch. They bring you they bring you your check and they bring you their pen. I take their pen, I use my pen, and I leave my pen everywhere I go. So my pen, every time I go to a convenience store, to a signing, any place I go, I always use my pens, even when, like if you go to a signing and they have their own pens, conveniently just take theirs and then replace it with yours. That's my marketing. And I've gotten so many phone calls. It's ridiculous. I thought that was I didn't really think it was going to work, and it has worked crazy good. So
I love that. I like that you're thinking outside the box. Think about everyone who needs a pen. There's doctor's offices. Have you ever been to those places where they actually put like a fly swatter or something really obnoxious on their pens so people won't steal them? So that tells you they do that because they don't want people to steal their pens. Why don't you go in and just say, hey, listen, I can donate some pens to you. And they're pens that are branded with your marketing. Just donate pens to those places that are using pens constantly. I love that, Shelly. You've just gave me some ideas. I hope you guys are taking notes. All right. So let's go on. We have a few exciting things we want to make sure that we get to at the end. If you don't get a chance to share with one question, please do share it in the chat because we still want to hear from you.
Janae, can I tell everybody about jitters?
Ooh, perfect. Yes.
So I know we have all varying levels of professionals on the call, but no matter where you're at, you probably got nervous or you get nervous with your apostille calls. Maybe it's your first call, maybe it's your 100th, but organizing a flow for how to navigate the apostille conversation is a huge roadblock for some people. So Judy Lawrence and I have partnered up this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. That's 7 p.m. Eastern time for a free training. It's called Jitters. how to manage your first apostille call and beyond. You can register for that at notarycoach.com/jitters. Thanks, Janae.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just saw Judy. I wanted her to raise her hand, but I think she might have went off. She was here today with us. Awesome. Okay, so this next question, feel free to share if you like. If you guys still have your hands up after this, feel free to share. What is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you at a closing? And it's something fun that you can still share. It's fun now, but usually in the time, it probably wasn't so fun in the moment, but now it may be fun for you to share. So let's share. I know we all have stories, and even though they're fun and they're embarrassing, we can all learn from somebody else's embarrassing story so that it doesn't become our story. So let me see. Camille, do you still want to share one of those? Do you have one to share with us?
I do not. I had a question.
Question. Go ahead, Camille.
Okay, well, I had a call on Saturday from a hedge fund, and they wanted me to go down to a courthouse to read a 2-sentence statement on behalf of their client. And I just wanted to know if anyone ever got any calls in regards to that or doing that service. And if so, what exactly is that?
Great question. Laura, you want to tap
He
in
asked
on this?
me personally already. I've never heard of that, so I don't know anything about it.
So it's not an oath. It's just reading a statement.
Correct. And they were offering to pay by the hour. But I wanted to get a little bit more information just to make sure that was something I can even do as a notary. So I did turn it down because, again, I didn't have enough information to know if that was something I could do.
Yeah, so I don't think we have enough information either to give you a good solid answer. But what I will say is that regardless, I know you're in Washington, but whatever state you're in, have a crystal clear picture of what your notarial acts are. So you know what you can do and you can't do. And here's the thing, just because it's not a notarial act in your state doesn't mean that you can't help them. You might just put a different hat on. Because what we're running into now, and this is the opportunity that we've been talking about for years, is that you are a credentialed professional. There are individuals and companies that see value in your professionalism, your credentials, maybe your background screening, if you're a certified signing agent, and they need people like us to send into homes and other situations to take care of their customers. So if it was not a notarial act that they were asking for, you can ask more questions, find out exactly what it is that they need. And maybe there is a way that you can do it without your notary hat on. Maybe you're just putting your human being hat on. Maybe they just need a witness. Maybe they just need a professional to do that. We don't know the details on that yet, but there might be a way to tap into those opportunities as well. And that's not to say that it's a guaranteed yes. There still might be times where you have to draw the line and say no. Great. Okay, so let's tap back into the original question, Janae, and let's hear those embarrassing stories. So hands up. So Shelly Thompson's hands up, Camille's hands up, Gia's hands up, Larry's hands up for embarrassing stories. If that is not what you want to share, lower your hands because we are going to share some embarrassing stories right now.
Yes. Can we start with some people who we haven't heard from yet? So let's start with iPhone Michelle.
Hi, I had a sign in 2 months ago, and as I walked into the door into the foyer, I didn't realize there was a step to go down. And the lady said to me she had to run to the kitchen to turn the stove off, and she had her 5-year-old son, and I went sprawling, and she thought it's the kid jumping. So she said, let's say his name is Tom. Tom, stop jumping. And he said, it's not me, the lady is on the phone.
Oh.
I was flustered. I was done. I jumped, and then he said, oh, she's back up. And I jumped up so quickly. I was mortified. The whole the floor could have opened and swallowed me in. And I was just flustered. And as we were signing, we was just cracking up about it. I still crack up and I think of it. I mean, I was on my face, just went crawling, bag went in one direction.
Well, and then you had a little announcer to carry on. And she's
I
down
know.
on the floor. And she's down.
Exactly.
That's the part I'm laughing at. The guy, the little kid saying, "Man down, man down." Oh, well, I hope that you didn't hurt yourself, Michelle.
No, I did not. Instead of being embarrassed about the whole thing, but I did not. You know, we're supposed to be observant and detailed. That morning, I was not observant and detailed because I went sprawling on the floor.
So watch out for those extra steps when you're going into these homes. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being the brave one to start us off on that question, Michelle. Tabitha, we haven't heard from you yet. What's your embarrassing story?
So mine was about 15 years ago, and my husband and I had met for an appetizer, and I could tell I wasn't feeling very good. And so I had to drive from Santa Rosa down to Turner Park, which is about a 15-minute drive. And I pulled up to the guy's house and I was thinking, I am going to throw up. And sure enough, I got to his front door and I had to like turn and throw up in the bush. So then I got myself together. I go in, I'm still trying to do the signing. And here I am again. I had to I forget if I ran back outside or he told me where his bathroom was and I had to run in and I was throwing up again. And then the guy is asking me, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No, I know I'm not pregnant." And that was definitely the most horrific.
My question is, did it get on the docks?
I think it did. I don't remember. I somehow composed myself. And then I was afraid. I was driving at home and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even think I'm going to make it at home. I'm going to throw up again. But I must have had food poisoning.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it wasn't fun for you at the time. You can laugh at it now, but that's not fun at all. So what can we learn from that? We want to learn from every situation. Make sure you're carrying something, maybe some extra mints might be good. A little bottle of Listerine, just in case anything like that ever happens. I don't know. What are you learning from that, Bill?
Wet wipes or something.
Wet
Wet wipes
wipes
can save your life in this business for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Tabitha, for sharing that. All right, Teresa. Teresa, do you have a signing, embarrassing signing story?
Hey, Janet. Yeah, I have two. One was, this is Teresa Von Paris in Pennsylvania. One was close to what Tabitha had, but mine was more of a feminine nature. You know, us women, we have our cycle each month. Well, I got to my closing and I was wearing beige pants. I stepped out of the car and I was leaking everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was so embarrassing. I actually went back home and changed and came back and I apologized profusely to the client to let him know I'm sorry for being late, but I was here. I just had an emergency. I had to go home and come back. And he was, I actually spoke to the wife. So I explained to the wife what happened, not to him, but the wife and I had a conversation. I let her know. She was totally understanding of it. So, but that was that. Embarrassing at the time, but now that I look back to it, it can happen to any one of us.
Sure.
Yes. And my second one was I was going to a closing and I stopped by McDonald's to have coffee. And when I got to the closing, I was so sick. Everything was coming back up. And I glanced over quickly. They had, my clients had lemon on the table. So I said, "Do you mind if I have a couple slices of your lemon? I'm not feeling very well. Just some water and some lemon." And they gave me that. And I went outside in case I was regurgitating. And I came back inside after feeling a little bit better. But nothing came back up. The lemon water helped me out really good then.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Listen, you're right. Those types of things can happen to anyone, there's always a good thing to keep. I recommend it to my students is I have like a little emergency kit in my car. We're mobile, have an extra outfit, extra hygiene products, everything. So be armed and ready for all types of situations.
Yes,
So next time we
indeed.
have this, you won't be on this show. And we have like just a few more minutes
Thank
here.
you.
And thanks, Teresa, for sharing. And Bill has some amazing news for us, for all of you who participated. But Bill, can I just share one story really quick about the embarrassing? And I really think this is something that you guys, I don't want you guys to ever be in this situation. I had a client that called me. It was direct for a signing with this gentleman, and the loan package was like massive. It was like 300 or more pages. It was a last minute thing. I go in there and I'm supposed to be meeting his girlfriend was there as the witness, or she was a part of the documents. And I walk in and I'm already kind of jumbled because they just changed the documents on me at the last minute. I walk in and my intro line was, "Man, do you have a big package?" or something like that. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because I didn't notice what I said, because I talk about in signing with talking to other notaries, they know what I mean by a loan package, right? But the girlfriend looked at me with a little strange face. And I said, yes, you have, I tried to clean it up. I was like, yes, you have almost 300 pages of documents here. But he smiled, but she didn't look so happy when I said that. And I was just, I mean, I have a lot of melanin in my skin, guys, if you know what I mean, but I was red. I know that I was so red at that moment, and I had to play it off and get all 300 of those documents signed without just letting it go. So just be careful with the language that you use. Say loan docs, say something else, but don't talk about your signers, the size of their packages. I just want to put that out there. Okay, guys.
I'm a little bit red now. Like, it's matching my chair back there.
So word to the wise. So Bill, tell them what they've won for being here and participating in this TNT remix.
I love it. Thank you so much. And we've only got, I really like to honor your time. So we only have a minute. So we'll just keep the pomp and circumstance to a minimum. But what I did is, as part of NBB, we teach some pretty granular training, and we had a pretty intensive workshop called the 5-Star Notary course, where we dive deep on 5 different modules for developing your own client or review getting process. What we've decided to do is we're going to give you the first 3 modules of that and a brand new workbook that we just created to go with it, because reviews equal revenue. How you treat your reviews can deepen your relationships. Plus, it can boost your search engine optimization. Your rankings on Google can go up the more reviews you get and how you respond. So we are giving that course away to you. You can go to this website. I'll post the link here in the chat, and you can have that completely for free just for hanging out and participating with us today. It's notarycoach.com/reviews. And that's plural with an S, and I'll post the link in the chat, but that is yours, our gift to you. Thank you so much. And Janae, thank you for hosting an amazing conversation. That was a great remix. What'd you guys think?
Thanks for having me, guys.
I love it. And if you want to show some love to Janae, you certainly can. Janae has hooked you up as well with her free resource library, part of the Florida Academy of Notaries, which is FAN, which I just love that name. I'm going to post the link in there for you too. Tons of free resources, interviews with experts and other working notaries around the country that give you even more perspective on this. And I think Laura had to go already. She's teaching today, so we'll wrap it up. Janae, any closing words?
I just appreciate hearing from all of you. Thank you. I am saving the chat, guys, because there was some good stuff in this chat today, some suggestions. I just want to thank you all for sharing your experience and your knowledge. And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, there is someone that's just a few steps behind you that you can encourage, that you can teach or assist in this journey along the way. Each one reach one, and we will grow together. Thank you so much, Bill, for having me today. This was fun. I had a
Yes,
good
it
time.
was my pleasure. Thank you. And thank you everyone for growing yourself and your business on the Tuesday afternoon. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.